So Vybz Kartel album is scheduled to drop, I think it's what, June 5th, this Friday. Is June 5th or June 15th? I think it's June 5th, if I'm not mistaken, right? Now, we saw the track list, right? The album cover on the track list came out, and there's one song on the album, right? There's one song on the album that kind of interests me, you know what I mean? That piques my interest, and there's the collaboration with him and Mavado, right? Because I don't think a lot of people was expecting Mavado to be featured on Vybz Kartel album, if you ask me personally. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't thinking, oh, we gonna get a Mavado feature on the album. I was more thinking like a Gaza artist, or even more like a Popcorn. But we don't know, say, all is not well with Vybz Kartel and Popcorn right now, same way. I don't know, but you know. But the single with him and Mavado, Hype Life, right, featuring Mavado, that single stood out to me, right? And you know, our other artists on the album, such as Spice, Wizkid, Faruko, Shensia. Well, Shensia and him already did the single Panic that's going to be on the album. And Skilly Bang, right, is going to be on the album too with a single called Try Again. But the single that stood out to me is the one with him and Mavado, Hype Life. You know what I mean? Because I'm waiting to hear what that song is going to be about. You know what I mean? I'm waiting to hear what that song is going to be about. And you know, say, Vybz Kartel and Mavado supposed to have this Gaza versus Gully thing, right? So people was thinking, maybe the man them are go, revive the whole clash or the diss tracks then between him and Mavado, and going into this Gaza versus Gully showdown. But now we see the man them have a single, a collaboration on Vybz Kartel album. And don't get me wrong, people, I'm all for collaboration, right? Mavado, a big man, big artist. Mavado could do what he like. Mavado and Vybz Kartel, they came a long way. Both came from the Alliance camp with Bounty Killer, and they partied and did their own thing. Mavado became Gully, Vybz Kartel, became Gaza. So I just that's the thing there. But we all know the history of the Gully and Gaza clash in dancehall. And after Vybz Kartel came home, we see him and Mavado and Bounty Killer, right, reunite. People said it's because of DJ Khaled, right? But there was no real unity there, and whatever the case may be. So I'm surprised to see on Vybz Kartel album there's a collaboration with Mavado. You know what I mean? Now, I know me, looking from outside looking in, I was even wondering, scratching my head. I'm like, wait, tell me Mavado really got a song on this album with Vybz Kartel called Hype Life? A collaboration? Why? I don't know. Vendetta fans, I'm sure some Vendetta fans are going to be scratching their head right now like, what? So he collaborate with Vybz Kartel. And, the Gaza fans, them are going to say, because I hear they already saying it, oh, Vybz Kartel, I give Mavado strength on this Grammy-nominated album. and nothing not too on for Mavado right now. That's why Vybz Kartel book Mavado for the Gully Gaza. Gaza fans are going to go to work. You understand? It's nothing new to me, but I'm just saying, right? But I was surprised. I'm surprised to see the song. No, I'm waiting to hear the song, people, because, the title of the song, it's kind of self-explanatory, Hype Life. So you probably talk about, I guess the riches and, the hype life, the girls, the money, the cars, and so on and so forth. Why? I don't know, people, you know what I mean? But I didn't see this coming, you know what I mean? Like I said, I was more expecting like as much as they say Vybz Kartel and Popcorn ain't good, I probably was expecting. If I just saw a Popcorn collaboration, I would have been like, okay. Matter of fact, no Drake. You know what I mean? I was hearing it was rumored that Drake and Vybz Kartel have a collaboration. So I was thinking maybe, okay, it might go on Vybz Kartel album since we didn't see Vybz Kartel on Drake album. And Drake give Popcorn a feature on one of his album, right? I think with a single called what's Shape Good or something, or something like that, right? And The single actually made the Hot 100 Billboard. So that's Popcorn, you know, featuring Drake. Popcorn first 100 Billboard, you know, hit song or hit record with him and Drake. People was expecting Vybz Kartel, since, you know, when he came out, we see Drake link up with them too. I think at one time at was it Rolling Loud or one of them big fests with him, Drake and Popcorn link up, and then Drake and him link up. I think it was back when he performed in Canada, if I'm not mistaken, right? So, you know, people was expecting, you know, to see a collaboration with Vybz Kartel and Drake. You know, see how the man them did a link and a move at one point, but no collaboration with Vybz Kartel and Drake, right? And now we see Vybz Kartel release this track list for his album Garden Time, and there's no Drake on the track list also, right? But there's a Mavado on the track. Boy, I better tell you, don't you? You know what I mean? I'm always saying to myself, well, I wonder if Alkaline and Mavado really still good, you know, or like that friendship there, you know, because I'm listening to some of Alkaline songs them off of the album, right? And well, I may tell you, you just look away, people. You understand? But like I said, Mavado is his own big man. Mavado choose to do what you know what he want to do. Since Vybz Kartel came home, like I said, see they link up. And they even did a collaboration with DJ Khaled, Vybz Kartel, Mavado, Buju Banton, and who else? Bounty Killer. Yeah, Bounty Killer was on that collaboration too. And I don't know if I'm missing out anyone right now, but you remember that they did that collaboration, which people were saying the song never really go nowhere, you know. But what DJ Khaled did was brought, you know, people were saying that unity, or some people might say that was some fake unity with DJ Khaled was trying to push with by uniting Bounty Killer back with Vybz Kartel and Mavado. You understand? But now we see Mavado and Vybz Kartel like they're more cool or close, or their link is still more, you know, or they still more have a link than a Vybz Kartel and Bounty Killer. You know what I mean? Because out of all the artists them in the dance hall, is Mavado they put, well, Mavado and Skilly Bang, right? As male artists from Jamaica. They're the only two that's on this album. You know what I mean? We know Shensi, but Shensi a female artist. You know what I mean? Then we see Faruko and Wizkid. You understand? So only 3 dancehall artists is on this album. 1 female, 2 male, right? And one of the males is someone that I wasn't expecting to be on Vybz Kartel album Garden Time. You know what I mean? And that's the Mavado. But I'm waiting to hear the collaboration. You know, since I see it on the album, which, you know, people were saying is rumored, but I wanted to see it for myself first, because people were saying, oh, them hear some Mavado was going to be on the album and this and the third. Likewise, you know, Shensi was going to be on the album because they did a song already, Panic, and that song was going to be on Vybz Kartel album. It is on the album. And then we saw the Skilly Bang, right? So why I better know, people. But yo, few subscribers, y'all was expecting a Mavado Vybz Kartel collaboration on this album. You know what I mean? I wasn't expecting it. I couldn't see it. I was more looking out for like a Drake or a Popcorn, or, you know, some other international artists. You know what I mean? I was looking out for something like unexpected, you know, like boom, you know, oh snap, this is what that person is gonna be on Vybz Kartel album, you know. But that's not what we got. Well, that's not what I got. I can't say that's not what we got. That's not what I got. You know what I mean? But, you know, the album, the songs, the titles, you know, I don't know. We just have to wait and see. I'm definitely going to listen to the album. You know what I mean? I'm going to listen to the album, stream it, you know. Yeah, I'm definitely going to stream the album. If it's a good album, great album by Vybz Kartel, definitely will buy it and keep it in you know, in the archive same way. You know what I mean? Just to have the hard copy in the archives. But, you know, I would definitely have to stream it first and see what's going on with the album. You understand? But yeah, people, Vybz Kartel Garden Time album. You know what I mean? like I said, I was just surprised when I saw, you know, the Gully God Mavado on the track list. You know what I mean? Especially with a song like that, you know, Hype Life. I'm like, what? I'm like, Hype Life? What Mavado and Vybz Kartel going with this one here, so. You know what I mean? So, no. Anyway, it's a 14-track album, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Yeah, God and Time, Soft Girl. What's that? Soft Girl Era? What the bumbuckler? Wait, that gotta be a girl tune. Someday, Genie, Confessions, right? That's featuring Spice. Stay for the Night, featuring Whiskey. What's that? Kasi? That song kind of Hispanic or some Kasi, or kind of African. I don't know, but that's featuring Faruku. Panic, we already heard that song with that's featuring Shensia. Wrong Then Wrong, right? Vybz Kartel by himself. Try Again featuring Skilly Bang. Hype Life featuring Mavado. Dancehall Thing, right? Big Business and Watch Over Me, right? So that's the 14 track on the album, and out of the 14 tracks, we got 5 collaboration out of the 14 tracks on this album, right? So I'm definitely waiting to hear the album, you know, how the album was produced, where Vybz Kartel is going with this, and you know, I'll give you guys an update after the album drop, and you know, Vybz Kartel release the album, and I listen to the album in its entirety. You know, I'll come back, I'll forward again and give you guys an update on that. But I just wanted to keep you guys, you know, posted with Vybz Kartel album track list that's supposed to be dropping this Friday, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the 5th. It's either the 5th or the 15th, something like that. But I strongly think it's the 5th, I heard, the 5th of June. You know what I mean? So I just listed the thing there right now, people. Anyway, you guys let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Right, people? Don't forget, if you're new here, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. But definitely leave your thoughts in the comment section, all right? Bless up on yourself. HardballTV with another update. Until another one, people. While go stay blessed. Little more.
And everything I'm talking about for, because sometimes I don't want people to know some man man that are really friend.
Okay.
So I have some boy in the business of go around people and talk.
Okay.
And chat about the things. Like them a girl pick me. You understand me? So sometimes I not even want you to know say I'm my friend that.
Okay.
And I'm my friend that. But just know say I have a couple of friends out there.
God know, I'm sorry I can't read in the dark. I would have big up someone, you know. I tell you, some man name spell fuck up youth and look fuck up. And we gonna try pronounce it. So just big up everybody, isn't it? Yeah.